Guys, Pete Weintraub, permanent weight loss specialist here, and before I get into today's conversation about what the deal is with genetically modified organisms, or GMOs, where the fuck is spring? A client told me earlier this morning that next Monday is the official start of spring, and it's got me thinking, is it really going to come? It's icy, it's cold, it's gray. Damn it, I want sunlight! Now that's over with, time to get serious. If you haven't been living under a rock for the past few years, then you've probably come across an article or a news segment on GMOs. GMOs, or genetically modified organisms, are lab-created foods designed to have more desirable traits. These include, but are not limited to, food size, food taste, food texture. You get the gist. There are obviously two sides of the fence on this one, and honestly, neither is a clear-cut winner. The more holistic folks argue that our bodies are designed to eat what's grown and what lives on God's green earth, and that any food that is made in a lab is detrimental to our health. The folks in the scientific community argue that this could be the beginning of not having to grow or slaughter nearly as much food in order to feed the world. By manipulating the genes of the fruits, vegetables, and even meats, we can grow more of those foods in labs and eat better without doing as much harm to our environment. As someone who likes to keep an open mind, I've looked into the arguments of both sides. Both sides make valid points, and I can see why you may be polarized to one or the other. That being said, I haven't seen a legitimate study done on a large enough population over a long enough period of time that would label one side a clear victor. The truth is, both the government and the food industry tend to rush in the distribution of lab-created foods before proper testing has been done on the general public. Remember when artificial sweeteners were the jam? Healthier than sugar, no calories, and what ended up happening after decades on the market and decades being researched? Cancer, slowing in metabolism, poor health. Now, this isn't to say that a genetically modified food is going to follow suit. We're at least a decade away from having any valid data that would suggest people ingesting GMOs regularly are at any greater risk than those who do not. That being said, I find it very sketchy that the government passed the DARK Act in recent years, which allows food companies to not be transparent to the public about whether or not a food contains genetically modified organisms. Being that the food industry has severely messed up the health of 3 generations worth now of people, I am not a proponent of this legislation. Personally, I believe we have a right to know what's in our food, and the fact that major food companies don't want to be open with us is a little unsettling. Is there something that they know that we don't? I don't know. I can speculate and have my suspicions, but I honestly don't know. What I can say is that you'll be better off eating a diet rich in organic foods. These foods are not created in a lab and are the product of better farming and animal treatment practices. They're not perfect, but they're better. Studies have shown that one can lower their blood toxicity by up to 80% in just 1 week by switching from ingesting conventional foods, which may or may not contain genetically modified organisms. Hey guys, Pete Weintraub here. I'm a permanent weight loss specialist. Thanks so much for watching the video. If you can do me a favor, please click the link below and subscribe to the channel. Every day I'm going to be popping out new content that will enable you to learn more about nutrition, fitness, and mindset as it relates to permanent weight loss. Now, there's a million programs out there that talk about how to lose weight. There are shows on TV like Extreme Weight Loss and The Biggest Loser. The problem is all of these show short-term fixes that aren't exactly healthy either. I'm more about doing this in a healthy, sustainable way so that you can achieve permanent results. So you only have to do this once. So what I'd like to gift you, if you're interested, is check out my website at weightlossbypete.com. There's going to be an opt-in on the page where you can get a free report detailing the 5 strategies that I personally used to lose 100 pounds, keep it off for good, and now my mission is to help as many people as I can to do the same without the research, trial and error, and years spent plateauing, not knowing what to do from a nutritional, fitness, or even mental standpoint. So check that out. I'd love to gift that to you. And feel free to check out the channel and any upcoming videos. Feel free to go back and look at my older ones. Thanks again for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. I'll talk to you tomorrow. To organic foods, just something to consider. The main takeaway, You can believe it whichever side of the argument you like when it comes to GMOs. That being said, in my professional opinion, I believe you should hold off on eating those foods until there's more data to support its health benefits, or lack thereof. Until tomorrow.